Graduates, faculty members, honored guests, welcome. My name is John Chalykoff. I'm the Dean of the Jack Welch College of Business at Sacred Heart University School. It is my privilege to welcome you all and to acknowledge the many academic and civic colleagues, government representatives that are joining us tonight. However, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the graduates and to thank the spouses and significant others that helped them through this rigorous program. They should get a round of applause. Yeah. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. You're graduating from a very special program, one where the faculty and the staff have been dedicated to your success. And the Luxembourg students continue to be among the very best students in the Jack Welch College of Business. We're always so anxious to welcome them when they come for their summer trip to Fairfield, and thank you for those that came this year. And I know my faculty in Fairfield always want to come to Luxembourg to teach these wonderful students. We've been proud to have you as students in our program, and we'll be even more proud to have you as alumni. And I say that here, you are all more than welcome to visit the Fairfield campus whenever you get a chance or you're in the US. You are now part of the Sacred Heart family. The candidates for the degrees have been assembled. The faculty members are in their places. Members of the Luxembourg Board of Regents and other officials of the university are present. The 25th graduation exercises of Sacred Heart University at Luxembourg are now officially in session. I am pleased to note that the university degrees and certificates being conferred are from the Jack Welch College of Business, which is named after the former legendary CEO of General Electric, Mr. Jack Welch. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd ask you to all please rise and welcome Miss Kelsey Hopper, who will sing the national anthem of the United States of America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Dear students, family and friends, members of the board, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, if we all could sing like that, but unfortunately, all I can do is talk to you. Today's graduation is the 25th in the history of Sacred Heart in Luxembourg. The past and current academic year have been eventful in many dimensions. Many new courses were created in the form of, in particular, one-credit courses to make it possible to cover a greater variety of topics for the electives and to make it easier for alumni to remain in touch. Some courses were reorganized and the content refined. Several professors joined our program this year, among them tonight present Benjamin Desai, Gunther Fischer, and Benedict Jonas. We are committed to continuously increase the brand value of your degree. And as you can imagine, our faculty, including those who join us occasionally from Fairfield, our faculty is carrying the value torch together with the achievement of your likes. Today, 36 students graduate, the largest number ever, or about 3 times the average of 2010 to 2013, as a sign of how we move along. This obviously contributes to a rapidly rising value of the Alumni Association. To facilitate networking, we set up and sponsor a professional platform for the Alumni Association and invite you to use it to remain in touch with us and other graduates. We're also happy to announce that with Shanghai Normal University, we have reached an understanding for training the graduates in our MBA with internship program starting this coming academic year. Chinese banks in Luxembourg have agreed to support us by providing internships and employment opportunities for those graduates. One implication of rising numbers of students will be that classes will need to be split into subgroups. We have already started this year with splitting accounting and finance. Instead of simply offer twice the same, we try to optimize and adapt the content to the needs and capabilities of the subgroups, each being more homogeneous than the overall class. By the way, you all are invited to join us on our 2017 Asia study trip. I wrote initially Asia trip, but then I changed it to Asia study trip. The program is exciting and including visits to Beijing, Singapore, and Thailand, Malaysia. Tonight, you accomplish a great step forward by graduating. The degree requirements were demanding for your time management and challenging for your intellect. Having been successful now, that should give you the confidence to confront new opportunities in your career. This is, in a way, the good news. Very, very good indeed. The bad news is that learning, in fact, is never over. With your MBA diploma, you may afford a break for some time, but the business environment and your competitors are neither sleeping nor unchanging, and the environment is changing so rapidly that you will need to convert to lifelong learning. Your Sacred Heart family is ready to accompany you on this learning journey. I wish you, each of you, success and perhaps more importantly, happiness. Even tonight, when we are celebrating, we are not completely forgetting education. Here we are again. I am proud to announce Professor Georges Hübner, Professor of Finance at the University of Liège, and author of many scientific articles and textbooks. Among his numerous responsibilities, he is a member of the board of one of the major banks in Belgium and scientific advisor of GAMBIT, a fintech company with over 50 mathematicians, programmers, and finance specialists. In fact, Arun, one of our first graduates from India, had the good fortune joining the company about 2 years ago. Professor Hübner will share with us his fintech experience. I'm very glad he was able to join us tonight.
Honored Dean Chalykoff, Honored Academic Director Steinherr, dear graduates and honored guests, dear friends, in your titles and qualities. First of all, let me tell you that I'm very honored to be in front of you today. It is true that I created a fintech called GAMBIT, and that I'm now a banker to some extent. But before I do that, before I say a few words about what could you expect in your near future from the financial sector at least, I'd like to say that I try to, well, actually I'm used to quoting the names of graduates in my home university, University of Liège, and since the names I give are the ones that of the students who graduate, typically people want me to be as long as possible because it means that lots of people are going to get their degree. I will try to be rather short today. You are now graduating, right? And even though many of you are part-timers and so you are working at the same time as you have studied, let me tell you one thing, and this is a firm conviction that I have from my experience, mostly as a board member of a bank that is very active in the digital world. The world you are entering is no longer the same as the one that you left 1 or 2 years ago. We are actually witnessing a significant disruption. Disruption in all fields of business. I'm going to take the example of finance because this is the one I know best about. But I'm going to show you that actually the pace at which the change is taking place is actually bigger and faster than anything we have seen so far. Well, you know about robotization probably. GAMBIT, the company that I founded, is about to create a robo-advice system which will provide some investment advisory advice without any sort of human intermediation. Robotization in fields of industry, commerce, finance is no longer a dream. It is now a reality and it is in action. Today, the faster movers are already gaining a competitive advantage over more traditional actors. Let me take the banking example, and I wish to give you some broad figures of a document, a rather confidential document, that I had to discuss this morning at the board of the bank. Of course, I'm going to anonymize these figures. Today, a traditional bank in Europe has a cost-income ratio, which is a major ratio of effectiveness, so this is a key indicator of performance, that is somewhere between 55, 60, and 70%. It means that for €1 of net income, you have 60 cents of cost. And simultaneously, these banks have approximately 10 to 20% of their clients who use mobile devices on a regular basis. So they do not use the intermediation of the human being. A digital champion in Europe on the same market has a cost-income ratio between 40 and 50%. And its number of mobile active clients is larger than 50% today. You see that in a sector that used to be fairly traditional, for which there has been a very long tradition of hiring profiles from many different backgrounds, the disruption is taking place. So companies today can increasingly save value, save money, save profits for their shareholders on low added value costs. This is good. Is this good? Is this good for individuals who now graduate? I tend to believe that this is good It is good because even though there are lower net hirings, the profiles change. And what is now sought are experts, and these are not necessarily the same persons, adaptable persons. But what does robotization mean for tomorrow? Actually, what do I see as the trends for the next 2 to 4 years? We're not talking about 10 years. We're not talking about centuries. We're talking about the immediate future. The IT race, the information technology race, is mostly now on fast automatization. So basically, we are continuing on this trend, especially through connectivity. This is where you hear notions as the Internet of Things that are at the forefront of the preoccupations. This is where fintechs, so the technological companies that address financial needs, are currently in a right position. Tomorrow, it will be about machine self-learning in the field of finance as well. It means what? It means that not only you can program the machine to do a routine task for you, and this is typically what can be done with payments, for instance, but the machine will learn how to improve its own functioning without having to have a human intervention. Well, this looks like a doomsday. Actually, this is not. Will the human disappear? There's a light of hope here. Not only a light of hope, but actually a very clear tendency for the effectiveness of the human intervention in management of highly technical aspects. The new normal, in this new normal, there will be a great need for human trust for many excellent reasons. And I would like to list 2 of these reasons. The first of these reasons is that machines serve humans. The final consumer is you and me. And this means what? It means that we need to get a feeling of a contact. We need to have a human touch. And this human touch is going to be performed for the most value-adding types of tasks, including in finance. For instance, if I look at the field of investment advisory, this is where private bankers and wealth managers are going to be the largest winners of this new competition. Human intervention, those of you who have studied derivatives, you know about the notion of convenience yield. This is a convenience yield that can have tremendous, even though pure non-financial value in the world of tomorrow. The second reason is that the machine, even though this might be the leading aspect of a number of actions, will need humans as backups, just like we have needed machines as backups of humans. Just give you an example. What would be an economy in which all banknotes would have disappeared? We would be the total hostages of something that we don't control. I view this as almost perfectly impossible. Beware though, even though there's a future for the highly adaptable person, the adaptability of the human will actually have to dominate the one of the machine. And I appreciate what Dr. Steinherr told you in his opening speech. You have to train all the time. There's a never-ending story of learning throughout your life, because this is what you will need in order to be on top of the machine. And the recipe for that is probably something that the human cannot be copied about. This is creativity. Stay creative, and you will see that this is something that will help you also in the future of this financial world. Be prepared to work much more, because if you are hired as experts, experts are necessarily rare. If they are rare, it means that there will be a tendency to use this expertise in the most important and intensive way. But you can also be prepared to work much less. Because the number of hours that are being saved in all sectors, in the financial sectors, this is absolutely tremendous, is also opening up the way for a new system, a new societal system, in which leisure is going to take also a lot of space. Where to go from here? I think that in the future that we're experiencing, and this is especially true in Luxembourg, which is an excellent laboratory for the coexistence of fintechs and financial institutions, I believe that traditional institutions, and some of you may work in these institutions, are not necessarily equipped in order to develop themselves what is necessary to be the winners of this disruptive challenge. And we have entered something that is called by many a co-petition business model, in which fast-moving small companies of the kind of the one that I have created 9 years ago, by then it was not called a fintech. Nobody was talking about the word of fintech. And the company was not fashionable at all. We had a hard time. We fought for our survival. Today, fintechs are there to cooperate, but also to compete with banks. And this is something that makes a very nice and, I think, value-enhancing competitive landscape, but also a kind of ecosystem. In this ecosystem, there's something unprecedented, with one exception that is taking place. There is massive amount of money around. And if you look at what the central banks have been doing, the Federal Reserve, the ECB recently, the amount of money that has been spread over the economy has not yet, by and large, been fully reinvested. So actually, this cooperative model between banks and financial technology firms is something that will reach an end with a very large amount of consolidation in this industry, with a very strong appetite on the market today for the integration of fintech firms into financial institutions. You will see, in particular for the next coming years, in Europe, this is a wave that has already taken place in the US, a very large intervention of venture capital funds, but also pension funds into the acquisitions and the integration of these fintech funds, these fintech firms, sorry. This is going to be for Europe and for Luxembourg in particular a key to success. This is keeping the creative potential of fintechs, buying them sometimes, but not destroying them. Some firms are actually being bought by other banks in order for their projects to be simply removed from the picture. If you dare, participate to such projects, because the key skills, the key competencies that are needed in order to develop oneself in a fintech firm are the ones that will be needed in the next future. This is something that banks internalize, this is something that banks purchase, but fintechs are there to last in one form or another. One word about Luxembourg, if you don't mind, because I'm observing this place, I've been observing this place for almost 20 years now, from remote. I live in Liège, not too far away, but I travel very often to Luxembourg. And I see that there's been lots of wealth that has been created from the past. There's a big legacy in Luxembourg, especially in the banking sector. Actually, Luxembourg behaves like a sovereign fund. Not being a sovereign fund, but actually the authorities have understood that there was a need for a turnover, and this is something in which there's a very big impact on the fintech world. Luxembourg has now turned to a platform of development of fintechs with a very high government support. Well, if I should say something about your stay in Europe, if you want to make a career in Europe, certainly Luxembourg would not be the worst possible place to stay. Staying here is probably not the worst bet to make. Let me give you a final word before I leave the floor. The other moment in recent history in which there was such an amount of liquidities that needed to be invested and that were looking for some potentially good investment opportunities was the fintech, the .NET bubble. During 1998, 1999, and the first half of 2000, we witnessed a tremendous wave of venture capital investments followed by initial public offerings or private placements with valuations that were extremely high. So, yes, make your way in the fintech world, but beware. Clearly, we are in a completely hype system. There's a lot of fashion here. Make your way in a durable way, and this is the only advice that I want to give left. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Hübner. Thank you very much, Georges. In honor of the achievements, your achievements, we celebrate this evening. We hope that the next musical performance will be an inspiration for you whenever you take the next steps in your professional careers. Please welcome back to the stage Ms. Kelsey Harper. Thank you, Councillor. Well, it's about time for the conferral of degrees to our students. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a professional photographer taking pictures of each graduate. In the interest of everybody and as a courtesy to those around you, I would ask that you remain seated while the graduates are being awarded their degree. The degrees will be awarded by the Dean, Dr. John Chalykoff, who will now take over.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration please rise? On behalf of the faculty, I present the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration and respectfully recommend that such degrees be conferred upon them. By virtue of the power vested in me by the state of Connecticut and by the trustees of Sacred Heart University, on this, the 9th day of December, 2016, I confer upon the candidates the degree of Master of Business Administration. That means you got it, but I'm going to come.
I will read the names of those awarded the degree. And please remember, graduates, to pause for a moment with Dean Chalykoff for the photographer. Directeur Allen. Jefferson Marcon Avellino. Maria del Rosario Cleoffe Chavez Cortes. Sara Boyes Terengovsky. Brian DeWitt. Christian Dumitrescu. Paulo Fernandes da Cunha. Raquel Franco. Mathieu Goa. Béatrice Guerrier. Monia Hilal. Constanze Höllermann. Maria Holz. Venkatesh Komavolu. Isabel Lenz. Caroline Louise Linel. Liu Fang. Iria Martinez. Tanya Natasha McEvoy. Fabián Andrés Mejía Pinto. Piotr Piotrowski. Samba Puri. Liga Purina. Daniela Radic, Tatiana Rangel Zarate, Vishal Sharma, Siddhartha Shukla, Monica Singh, the first of the Tachenkos, Andrei Halina, Martin Weinhold, Yi Chen Yo, well, congratulations to the MBA graduates of 2016. Will the candidates for the corporate finance, modern business management, risk management certificates please rise? Okay. On behalf of the faculty, I present the candidates for the aforementioned certificates and respectfully recommend that such certificates be conferred upon him or her. So, corporate finance, Laura Bragaja. Modern business management, Sara Gentile. Modern business management, Filippa Crancio. And that's it. I'm now pleased to announce two academic distinctions, two awards. And Dean Chalykoff will present these awards. The Silver Medal of Excellence is presented to Caroline Louise Linel. Congratulations. Where there's silver, there should be gold. And the Gold Medal of Excellence is presented to Paulo Fernandes da Cunha. Please, congratulations. Paulo, nothing is for free. You are the valedictorian, and therefore we are eager to listen to the valedictorian address delivered by you.
Thank you. Dear Dean, Director, board members, friends, family, but above all, dear classmates. Today is a special day for us graduates. It's an important milestone in our careers and lives. For me personally, be standing here tonight has a very special meaning. Up until a few years back, I didn't have any kind of higher education. But to be honest, immediately after leaving high school, I wanted to obtain some kind of degree. So what I did is that I started with peaking motivation levels, sending my application to a few programs that I considered interesting. But what a huge disappointment, and quite frankly, what a punch in my face, it was when my application was rejected by all of them. The main reason was that apparently my academic background was not sufficient for me to even be able to pass or complete these programs. Did I take no for an answer? No, I did not. On the contrary, it motivated me even more not to give up. Fast forward to today, I have now completed both a bachelor and a master's degree, and I guess one could say that I did with some level of success. Was it easy? No, of course not, but I was determined to do it. I made the decision to do it, and I kept the promise I made myself. Looking back at our first few MBA classes, and as we were doing these traditional introduction rounds, this is exactly what I saw in the eyes of each and every one of you. Determination, decidedness, hunger. When we chose to do this MBA, we decided to pursue what some of us call an objective, a goal, or even a dream. But more than that, we decided that we wanted to pursue limitless possibilities. We decided to do so boldly and without regret. And now, here we are at graduation. In retrospect, I must say that this MBA was a great journey, meeting all of you, different in so many ways, but was, enriching, both on a personal and a professional level. Certainly wasn't always easy, and it got us busy at times. But what we will remember are the moments of fun, joy, and laughter. Asking Dean whether he knows Abdul, falling off my chair during Mary's class, lifting an old man's car in New York City, Rodes, melones, all unforgettable memories. It was a pleasure to discuss, share, and debate on so many subjects. You truly are an amazing group of smart and interesting people, and I'm convinced that you all have bright futures ahead. Well, at least some of you. This great journey was made possible thanks to the impressive work that both the faculty and the administration are doing on a daily basis. In the name of this big group, I thank you for these efforts. Even though she couldn't be here tonight, I'd like to give a special thanks to Mary for organizing a memorable US trip. Thank you also to all the spouses, families, and friends who have been so supportive, understanding, and patient throughout this busy period. Special thanks to my wife for the unconditional and loving support she has given me. Dear classmates, today we stand here in front of our families and friends to be celebrated for our big achievement. Even though we are different in many ways, today we're all the same. Today we're all the same with the same caps, the same gowns, the same diploma. Today we're all 2016 MBA graduates of Sacred Heart. Congratulations.
Thanks. Graduates, please rise and face the guests.
Graduates,
As a sign of the completion of our graduation, please move your tassels from right to left.
As we conclude this ceremony, I want to invite you to a very special holiday treat. Miss Kelsey Hopper will be performing a Christmas song, but first we will have the benediction by Father Ehret. Please turn back to us.
Would the audience please stand for the benediction? Thank you. Is this only the icing of the cake at the end of the ceremony because we are at a Catholic university, or what has it to do with your experience, graduates, that we are giving a benediction at the end? Perhaps we can answer this question when we read the first verse in chapter 12 of the book of Genesis, where it is written, Yahweh said to Abraham, leave your country, your kindred, and your father's house for a country which I shall show you, and I shall make you a great nation. You are to be a blessing. A benediction, a blessing, is about people. And we just heard it, people can make a difference. People can change this world when they gather for doing good. It's also about a journey, and you just today celebrate one big step, and there was already someone who said, you are now learned learners, the journey goes on. But there is something more. There is a promise. There is a promise about a world to come, a world that was in God's mind, and when people can live together in peace and justice, a world in which those who are the small ones, the suffering ones, are not forgotten. And this world, where they have their place and where justice and peace reigns, is also in your hands. This is what a benediction is, that you be able to make this world come true. So let us remember we are in the presence of God and pray. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Father Ehret. Now, please be seated. Could everyone help me in giving a warm welcome once more to Miss Kelsey Hopper singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Through the years, we'll be together. That's if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough. Why don't Congratulations.
Thank you, Kelsey. I hope one day she will be a Sacred Heart alumnus. It's my hope. Now, this concludes the 25th graduation ceremony of the Sacred Heart University, Welch College of Business here in Luxembourg. Will everyone rise, please, for the recessional, but remain in your places until the academic procession leaves the room. By the way, all guests are invited to join us for a holiday reception immediately following this ceremony at the Lucien Vercollier cloister just across the courtyard. The graduates now will assemble with the faculty for a class picture and then join the rest of the party later. Merry Christmas to all of you.